Have you ever found yourself constantly checking your phone, waiting for a reply that never comes? One day she's laughing at your jokes, texting you late into the night, acting like she can't get enough of your attention, and the next day she disappears without explanation. That sudden silence can feel confusing, frustrating, and even painful. The truth is, this disappearance rarely happens by accident. In modern dating, many women test reactions rather than acting out of uncertainty. They want to see if you'll chase, panic, or fold. Understanding this dynamic isn't about developing paranoia or playing manipulative games. It's about reclaiming your emotional power and learning how to respond with calm confidence. Emotional awareness and self-control are the foundations of masculine energy in relationships. When you know how to hold your frame, you stop reacting to her actions and start observing patterns, creating clarity where most men see chaos. This guide will walk you through 10 strategies to navigate emotional games, protect your peace, and maintain control over your life and relationships. By the end, you'll understand how to respond to tests without losing yourself, and how to attract women who respect your presence rather than manipulate it. Detachment is the cornerstone of emotional control in modern dating. Let's be clear, detachment doesn't mean indifference. It doesn't mean turning into a cold, unfeeling person. Detachment means choosing when and how to feel, instead of letting someone else's actions hijack your emotions. Without it, every late reply, every mixed signal, every sudden silence can trigger stress, anxiety, or overthinking. When a woman senses that you're emotionally invested in her more than you are in yourself, she can unintentionally, or sometimes intentionally, pull strings. Every text becomes a test, every hot and cold cycle a way to provoke a reaction. Detachment snaps that leash. You stop overanalyzing breadcrumbs, stop decoding moods as if your worth depends on it, and stop letting her behavior define your emotional state. The real power of detachment is clarity. It allows you to observe patterns and recognize manipulative behaviors without judgment or anxiety. You become the constant, the calm presence, while others' actions no longer dictate your emotional highs or lows. When you master detachment, you're no longer reacting. You're leading your own experience. The moment she realizes that you can't be shaken, the dynamic shifts. She begins to wonder why her usual tactics no longer work. Emotional games are rarely random. In modern dating, the highs and lows you experience are usually part of a pattern, often called the push-pull cycle. One day she showers you with attention and affection, and the next, her replies are brief, distant, or non-existent. If you treat each shift as a new mystery, you'll stay trapped in confusion and anxiety. The key is observation. Pay attention to recurring behaviors, repeated cold spells, inconsistent communication, or small gestures meant to keep you hooked without real investment. Once you notice the patterns, you can predict the next move and respond strategically rather than reactively. Ask yourself, have I seen this before? Is this breadcrumbing? Is this the third time she's withdrawn after connecting deeply? Patterns reveal intent, not your worth. By recognizing these cycles, you gain clarity and emotional freedom. You stop guessing, stop overanalyzing, and stop letting inconsistency control your mood. Instead, you observe with calm confidence, understanding that her behavior reflects her choices, not your value. When you see the pattern and refuse to play along, the power dynamic shifts. You're no longer a player in her game. You're the one setting the pace. Boundaries are not about controlling someone else. They're about protecting yourself and your standards. Most men wait too long to establish them, only realizing the damage after being ghosted, manipulated, or disrespected. By then, they've already taught women that inconsistency or drama is acceptable. Setting boundaries early prevents this and communicates self-respect clearly. A boundary is simply a statement of what you will or won't accept. For example, if she cancels plans repeatedly without explanation, you calmly say, "I value consistency. If plans aren't important to you, that's fine, but I won't continue to rearrange my schedule." Or if she flirts with others in your presence, you assert, "I'm not here to compete for attention. I respect myself and expect the same in return." Boundaries aren't about anger or punishment. They're about clarity and protection. When you set them, women immediately sense your value. You're no longer an option to be tested. You're a man with standards. The paradox is simple. Respect grows where boundaries exist, and inconsistency or manipulation loses its power. By speaking early, speaking clearly, and standing firm, you prevent unnecessary confusion and reclaim control of your emotional space. One of the most common ways women test men is through subtle pressure, flirting with others, bringing up an ex, or making passive-aggressive remarks. These are not random. They are designed to see if you can maintain your composure. Most men fail these tests, reacting with jealousy, defensiveness, or over-explanation, which only reinforces the cycle. Staying calm under pressure is a powerful demonstration of self-control. Smile, acknowledge without judgment, and redirect your focus. For example, if she mentions her ex, you can respond neutrally, "Sounds like he made good choices," and move on. If she flirts with another man, observe without reacting or competing. Your emotional stability signals strength. It tells her that your sense of self does not depend on her validation. This calmness is magnetic because it flips the script. Instead of giving her the power to provoke you, you hold it yourself. She begins to question why her usual tactics don't work and may even adjust her behavior to match your composure. Staying calm doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means maintaining control over your reactions, keeping your energy centered, and letting your presence speak louder than words ever could. Most emotional games succeed because men are too focused on immediate validation, waiting for texts, analyzing tone, or obsessing over attention. When your life revolves around someone else's inconsistencies, you give them power over your emotions. The solution is simple. Focus on long-term goals that anchor your energy and purpose. Whether it's building your career, improving your fitness, developing a skill, or pursuing meaningful projects, having a mission shifts your mindset from reactive to proactive. When a woman senses that your attention is not dependent on her actions, two things happen. She either aligns with your momentum or she steps aside. You don't say it, you live it. Your progress and dedication communicate value far louder than words. Focusing on long-term goals also protects your mental and emotional health. Instead of spiraling when communication slows or plans are canceled, you stay productive, engaged, and fulfilled. Your life becomes about growth, not drama. And ironically, the more invested you are in yourself, the more magnetic you become. Women respect men who are building, moving forward, and unavailable for chaos, because they're clearly living in alignment with their purpose. When women test boundaries or behave inconsistently, the instinct for many men is to retaliate, trying to make her jealous, mirror her coldness, or teach her a lesson. This is emotional reactivity, and it only hands over control. Tit-for-tat responses keep you trapped in her game and reinforce the cycle rather than breaking it. A man of emotional power refuses to react. Instead, he maintains calm composure, steps back, and silently preserves his dignity. For example, if she flirts with someone else, you don't compete or argue. You simply continue with your life, focused on priorities that matter. Your silence and composure carry more weight than any confrontation ever could. The paradox is clear. The less you try to win, the more you gain. Emotional detachment and strategic non-reaction create unpredictability, which is magnetic. By refusing to engage in petty battles, you show that your value and peace are non-negotiable. She quickly learns that provoking you is ineffective, and the game loses its power. When you rise above retaliation, you are no longer just responding. You are leading, controlling the pace and energy of every interaction. Clear communication is not a sign of weakness. It is authority with precision. Many men either avoid difficult conversations or explode emotionally when they finally speak up. Both extremes create confusion, drama, and resentment. The key is to express yourself calmly, directly, and without unnecessary emotion. A simple, effective formula is: state what you observed, explain how it affects you, define what you will or will not accept. For example, if she has been canceling plans frequently, you can say, "I've noticed that our plans have been canceled several times. I value consistency, and if that's not where you're at, I'll respect that, but I won't continue to rearrange my schedule." This approach communicates your standards without anger, manipulation, or guilt. When you speak like this, the dynamic shifts. She either rises to meet your standards or self-selects out. You no longer guess, overthink, or tiptoe around her moods. Clear communication creates respect and reinforces your boundaries, showing that you lead interactions rather than reacting to them. A man who can speak truth calmly and firmly becomes unshakable in his presence and influence. Many men put a woman's comfort, attention, or approval above their own well-being, often without realizing the cost. Emotional exhaustion, stress, and constant overthinking are signs that your energy is being drained. This is not love, it's self-betrayal. Protecting your mental, emotional, and physical health must come first. Prioritizing well-being doesn't mean cutting her off in anger or ignoring her entirely. It means redirecting your focus inward. Invest your energy in activities that strengthen you: the gym, career growth, meaningful friendships, hobbies, and personal development. By doing so, you maintain a stable and attractive presence. Ironically, when you prioritize yourself, it changes how others perceive you. Women sense the shift and are drawn to a man who isn't dependent on validation for his peace. You become magnetic because you are grounded, centered, and emotionally unavailable for manipulation. Your calm, secure energy speaks louder than any text, gift, or gesture ever could. A man who prioritizes his own well-being creates a standard that others must either respect or step away from. Peace becomes your baseline, not negotiation. When your inner state is untouchable, emotional games lose all power. Patience is a rare but powerful trait in modern dating. Most men are addicted to instant validation. They want immediate replies, quick reassurance, and overnight clarity. When they don't get it, they panic, double text, or overanalyze. This urgency makes them easy to manipulate. A man of true power understands that patience is not weakness. It is mastery over time and emotion. When she goes quiet, cancels plans, or pulls back emotionally, resist the urge to react. Sit in the silence, focus on your goals, and allow space to do its work. Do not chase, over-explain, or fill gaps with anxiety. Patience shifts the dynamic. When she sees that her tests no longer provoke you, she begins to wonder why. Your calm, steady, unfazed energy communicates that your attention is earned, not assumed. You dictate the pace of engagement, choosing when and how to respond rather than reacting to her actions. Practicing patience also builds inner strength and emotional independence. It allows you to evaluate her behavior clearly, make rational decisions, and maintain control over your focus and energy. A patient man doesn't just survive the games, he becomes untouchable within them.